Okay, in this video, I'm going to get you off on the right foot by showing you kind of how you should structure your work when you're just creating a bunch of methods. So here I am in IntelliJ. I've created a project called ArrayTest. I'll right-click on Source and make a new Java class, which I'll call ArrayProblems. Here I am. I'm going to type public static void main, psvm, enter. So that's created my main method. And I'm just going to start creating the methods. So I told you before, so let's start with the first homework problem, problem 20. So it says return the number of even ints in the given array. So before, you might start this way. You might start typing public static, and then it's going to return the number of something, so int, and then like count evens. But I don't want you to type the method declaration first. Instead, what I want you to do is set up a test case, and then use the method that you're about to create as if it already existed. So I'm going to create int test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to go ahead and create test 2, which will be maybe a different length and have some other things in it. Okay, so now result 1, what do I want to call my method? It's about return the number of even ints. So I'm going to call my method count evens in. I use the word in here so that it would read like English, like count the number of evens in test. So it's like full sentence. Okay, it's highlighted in red because we haven't created the method yet. So click on it, hit Alt-Enter, and hit Enter to create the method. And there we go. I'm returning, oh, my bad. Okay, so I'm returning an array, but that's not actually what I want. I'm counting the number of evens, so I really just want to return that count. I'm going to return an int. So let's try and regenerate it. Okay, Alt-Enter, cool. So it's returning an int, that's the count. Here it takes an input called test. I'm going to rename this to array because I like that better. If you know right away how to code your problem, go ahead and just code it. If you look at it and you're not sure, I would work it on paper yourself to make an algorithm. And then before you write code, write the algorithm that you intend to implement in pseudocode in a comment before you actually try and implement it. So I'm going to loop I from 0 to array.length. And then I'm going to say if array element I is even, then I'm going to add to a counter. So I guess I'll need to create a counter at the beginning, and then at the very end, I'll return the counter. So the idea is I'm just looping over every number, I'm checking it for the condition that I want, and if it meets that condition, I add to the counter. Great, so now that I have the pseudocode, let's do it. So count equals 0, I'm going to iterate by typing ITAR, that created this loop iteration. So I'm iterating over the array. I don't like it that it's called I1, so let's call it element. So now I can say if element, and then I'm going to use the mod operator to test if it's even. So this says if when you divide it by 2, the remainder equals 0. That's what it means to be even. Then I'll say count plus plus, and then at the very end, I'll return count. Okay, and now I'm going to delete my comment. So my first method is done, and let's see if it works. So this is not a proper test case because I haven't taught you how to do that yet. But problem 1, or let's do this. Number of evens in, and then arrays.toString test is result 1. Okay, I always like to have a full display. I'm going to import the class arrays. I always like to have a full display that sort of tells me the full thing that's happening rather than it just displaying a number. So let's run it. And when I run it, it says could not find or load main class, which is not what I was expecting. What happens if I run this here? Okay, so I think it was trying to run an old thing, so when I clicked here, that told it specifically that I wanted to be running this main method. So it says the number of evens in this list is 3, and that looks right, because there's only 3 even numbers, and if you wanted to, you could change it. So let's make it like, have a lot of even numbers. 222, that's even. And then you could run it again. See what you think. Okay, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that looks okay. So if you don't want to keep seeing this output, I think a great thing to do is to put a comment that says problem 1, and then you can just comment this whole region by doing Control-Shift/. And now you can start problem 2. So for problem 2, it's returning a sum. So I'll say sum equals find sum of test. And now same thing. You can do Alt-Enter. That creates your method. And now you're away implementing your next method. Okay, I hope this has helped. Good luck, everybody.